morning everyone. Welcome to the Certificate in German Language program offered by School of Foreign Languages, Indira Gandhi National Open University through ODL mode. In this session, we are going to learn conjugating irregular verbs in German. Previously, we have also done the conjugation for regular verbs in German. So, this time it is going to be a little easier for you because you already have some basic knowledge of conjugating verbs. So, let us see how do we conjugate irregular verbs in German. Dear friends, let us see the first verb that we have here, that is sein. Well, we have been using this verb a lot of times when we formulate sentences like Ich bin Prashali, Ich bin 10 Jahre alt and so on. Sein means to be and its conjugation goes as Ich bin, du bist, ist, sie ist, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie formal you singular, formal you plural and sie with small s, they. Therefore, it does not have any set pattern of conjugation as you can see. Therefore, it needs to be learnt as it is. So, ich bin, du bist, sie, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. Let's see the next example now. Geben. Dear friends, geben means to give and this particular verb also takes the dative case that we will be doing in our coming sessions and in the course BGL 3. But as of now, please understand, geben means to give. I give you my book, I give you a gift and so on. Let's see how the conjugation goes for geben. Ich gebe, du gibst, gibt, sie gibt, es gibt, wir geben, ihr gebt, sie geben. Dear learners, please note that the conjugation for sie and s, it happens to be the same. Therefore, all the three can also be written together. Therefore, the conjugation for geben goes as Ich gebe, du gibst, sie, es gibt, wir geben, ihr gebt, sie formal you singular, formal you plural and sie with small s that is they, geben. Let's see the next verb now. Helfen. Dear friends, the conjugation for helfen goes as Ich helfe, du hilfst, sie, es hilft, wir helfen, ihr helft, sie formal you singular, formal you plural and small z that is they, helfen. So, ich helfe, du hilfst, sie, es hilft, wir helfen, ihr helft, sie helfen. Let me also tell you here that helfen again is a dative case verb. That means it always takes the dative case. Now, what does it mean actually? We will discuss it later, but before that we are also going to discuss what do we mean when we say that it is an accusative case, a dative case and then obviously there also exists a nominative case. We will discuss them later, but as of now we come back to the conjugation part. So, let us see the next verb now. Dear learners, the next verb that we have here is gehen. The conjugation goes as Ich gehe, du gehst, sie, es geht, wir gehen, ihr geht, sie gehen. Gehen, the verb means to go. For example, ich gehe nach Hause, I am going home. Ich gehe zur Universität, I am going to university and so on. Let us see the conjugation for the next verb now. The next verb we have sprechen. Sprechen means to speak. For example, he speaks very nice Hindi, he speaks fluent Spanish and so on. My brother speaks 3 languages, that is Hindi, German and French. That is how we use the verb sprechen, that means to speak. Let us see the conjugation of this verb now. Ich spreche, du sprichst, sie, es spricht, wir sprechen, ihr spricht, sie sprechen. Dear learners, please note that in irregular verbs, sometimes the verb stem also undergoes a change and it is not always the same. Therefore, Kindly note these differences when you are doing and learning the conjugation. So, again let me go through the conjugation of the verb sprechen, and it goes as ich spreche, du sprichst, sie es spricht, wir sprechen, ihr sprecht, sie sprechen. Let's move ahead. Here we have the verb nehmen. Nehmen means to take, and the conjugation follows as ich nehme, du nimmst, sie es nimmt, wir nehmen, ihr nehmt, sie nehmen. Dear learners, I hope you can note that with du, the verb root also change. It becomes nimmst, yeah. So, that is why the irregular verb conjugation, it needs to be learnt, and there is no set particular pattern for this. So, the conjugation ich nehme, du nimmst, sie es nimmt, wir nehmen, ihr nehmt, sie nehmen. Okay dear learners, now we will see the verb beginnen. Beginnen means to begin. For example, the class begins at 1 o'clock, the concert begins at 3 o'clock, the meeting begins at 5 o'clock. Okay? So, let us see the conjugations now. Ich beginne, du beginnst, sie es beginnt, wir beginnen, ihr beginnt, sie beginnen. Let us move ahead. Sehen. Sehen means to see. Conjugation. Ich sehe, du siehst, sie es sieht, wir sehen, ihr seht, sie sehen. Let's move ahead. Dear learners, now we will try to practice the learned conjugation with the help of the exercises. So, in this exercise, the answer, that is the verb, is already given to you within the brackets. You need to use that verb in the given sentence, obviously in the correct conjugated form according to the specific given sentence. So, please try doing this exercise, and I will once go through all the sentences. So, the exercise reads as ergänzen Sie die richtigen Verbformen. Fill in the correct verb forms. So, the first sentence, ich dash ammen, the verb needs to be used here is helfen. Frank dash Hindi, English und Deutsch, given verb sprechen, to speak. Ich dash nach Hause, given verb gehen, to go. Frank dash aus Dresden, given verb kommen, to come from. Mein Bruder dash eine Katze, given verb haben, to have. Namita dash mir ihr Buch, given verb geben, to give. Dear learners, I am sure you must have finished the exercise now. So, let us quickly discuss the answers. Let us see the first sentence here. Ich dash ammen. The verb given here was helfen, that means to help. So, we simply need to conjugate the verb helfen according to the subject in this sentence. So, can you point out what is the subject in this sentence? It is ich, that is I. So, ich helfe ammen, that means I help ammen. Dear learners, ich is the subject here, that means I, and the conjugation with ich for the verb helfen is helfer. Ich helfe ammen, that means I help ammen. Please note, you have to write the correct conjugation form according to the given subject. So, it is important to connect the two, that is the given subject and the correct conjugated form. Let us see the next sentence now. Frank dash Hindi, English und Deutsch. The given verb here is sprechen. So, we need to conjugate it according to the subject. And what is the subject in this particular sentence? It is Frank. And you would also be knowing that Frank being subject here means that it is the third person singular case. And the conjugation for that is, can you recall? Ich spreche, du sprichst, sie es spricht. So, this particular conjugation, that is the third person singular conjugation, is what we will use in the Frank case, because Frank is the third person case here. Therefore, the correct sentence becomes Frank spricht Hindi, English und Deutsch. Altogether it means Frank speaks Hindi, English and German. Please remember, you need to match the subject and the correct conjugated form. So, the sentence becomes Frank spricht Hindi, English und Deutsch. Frank speaks Hindi, English and German. Let's move to the next sentence now. Ich dash nach Hause. Dear learners, the verb given here is gehen, that means to go. So, it's simple, we need to write the correct conjugated form of the verb gehen, that means to go, with the given subject, that is ich in this case. So, the answer becomes Ich gehe nach Hause, and it means I am going home. Ich gehe nach Hause, I am going home. Let's move on to the next sentence now. Frank dash aus Dresden. The verb given here is common and we need to conjugate it according to the subject, that is again Frank here. So, it becomes Frank kommt aus Dresden. Frank comes from Dresden. Next sentence now. Mein Bruder dash eine Katze. The given verb here is haben. Dear learners, haben means to have. I have a book, I have a car, I have a motorcycle, I have 2 bags and so on. So, in this particular sentence, the subject is mein Bruder and we need to conjugate it according to the third person category conjugation. Therefore, it becomes mein Bruder hat eine Katze. That means my brother has a cat. Katze means a cat, like the animals that we are talking about, dog and cat, that cat. So, mein Bruder hat eine Katze, my brother has a cat. Let's see the next sentence. Namita dash mir ihr Buch. The given verb here is geben. Geben means to give and the conjugated form with Namita here as subject will be the third person category case. So, it becomes Namita gibt mir ihr Buch. Can you recall the conjugation for geben? Ich gebe, du gibst, sie es gibt. And here we need to use the third person category case of conjugation. Therefore, we are using gibt. So, the complete sentence becomes Namita gibt mir ihr Buch. It means Namita gives me her book. Namita gives me her book. Dear learners, so these were some basic simple sentences and you tried filling the correct verb conjugation for the given verbs here. Now, let's quickly see some more sentences. Alright dear learners, so you have some more sentences here to be written with the correct conjugated form. I'll quickly read all the sentences for you and then you can fill up the correct answers. Please note, you don't have to write answers from your own, you just need to pick the right answer or let's say you just need to conjugate the given verb, that is the answer, according to the specific sentence. So, let me read out the sentences now for you. Ich dash einen schönen Garten, verb given haben, to have. Das Konzert dash 10 Uhr, beginnen, to begin. Meine Schwester dash viel Geld, haben, to have. Shilpi und Arpita dash fließend Japanisch, sprechen, to speak. Ich dash zufrieden. Zufrieden means satisfied, dear learners. The given verb here is sein, that means to be. For example, I say ich bin glücklich, I am happy. Ich bin reich, I am rich. Ich bin gesund, I am healthy. So, that's how we use sein in this particular context, that means to be. So, ich dash zufrieden, given verb sein. Paula dash zufrieden, again given verb sein. Maria, Prakhar und Roger dash zufrieden, verb given sein. Last sentence, wir dash zufrieden, given verb sein. Dear learners, you must have finished the exercise now. So, let's quickly see the answers now. So, the first sentence here, ich dash einen Garten, the given verb was haben. So, you need to conjugate the verb haben according to the subject. So, what is the subject in this particular sentence? Ich, that is I. So, the sentence becomes ich habe einen schönen Garten. It means I have a beautiful garden. Dear learners, garden means garden. Garden where we have flowers, herbs, shrubs, trees, all those things. So, garden means garden and it carries the article der Garten. although the indefinite article for that becomes einen in the accusative case, and that's how this particular sentence is. We will discuss them later when we will be discussing the topic, the accusative case. But as of now, please understand that here we are using the verb haben, and that is for a accusative case here. So, the person is saying that I have a beautiful garden. Ich habe einen schönen Garten. I have a beautiful garden. Next sentence, das Konzert dash 10 Uhr. The given verb is beginnen and it means to begin, to start. So, it is talking about a concert starting at some particular time. So, it says das Konzert beginnt 10 Uhr. The concert starts at 10 o'clock. Please note, we have the subject here as das Konzert and it will take the third person category case. Therefore, the conjugation will be used accordingly. Ich beginne, du beginnst, sie, es beginnt, and we need to use the third person category conjugation here. Therefore, we are using beginnt. So, the sentence becomes das Konzert beginnt 10 Uhr. The concert starts at 10 o'clock or the concert begins at 10 o'clock. Let's move to the next sentence now. Meine Schwester dash viel Geld. Dear learners, the verb given here is haben. Again, you know it means to have. And the subject in this particular sentence is meine Schwester. That means my sister. Now, you know that it will be again be a third person category conjugation case. Therefore, the correct sentence becomes meine Schwester hat viel Geld. My sister has a lot of money. Can you recall the conjugation for haben? Ich habe, du hast, sie, es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben. Therefore, this particular sentence, meine Schwester hat viel Geld. My sister has a lot of money. You would be knowing Geld means money, it is a noun with the article das, that is the neutral case. Viel means a lot, something much in quantity. So, meine Schwester hat viel Geld, my sister has a lot of money. Let's move to the next sentence. Shilpi und Arpita dash fließend Japanisch. The given verb sprechen. So, because it is a plural case, dear learners, plural case means more than one is involved here. And you can see we are talking about two people, that is Shilpi and Arpita. Therefore, we will use the plural conjugation case and the sentence becomes Shilpi und Arpita sprechen fließend Japanisch. It means Shilpi and Arpita speak fluent Japanese. Shilpi und Arpita sprechen fließend Japanisch. So, it is talking about that these two people, Shilpi and Arpita, they speak fluent Japanese. Do you also want to speak fluent German? I am sure you all want to. Let's move to the next sentence now. Ich dash zufrieden. The verb to be used here is sein, that is to be. Dear learners, it's simple. With ich, the conjugated form of sein to be used is bin. The conjugation for sein, as you know, is ich bin, du bist, sie, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. So, coming back to this particular sentence, ich bin zufrieden. It means I am satisfied. Next sentence, Paula dash zufrieden. Again, it's the same case of verb sein, that is to be. Please note, Paula is the subject here and you know that it will be the third person conjugation case. So, it becomes Paula ist zufrieden. Remember the conjugation? Ich bin, du bist, sie, es ist. So, we use the third person conjugation here. So, Paula ist zufrieden. Paula is satisfied. Let's see the next sentence now. Maria, Prakhar und Roger dash zufrieden. Again, we need to use the conjugation for sein. Dear learners, please note that the last four sentences here, they are talking about the same thing. Some person or let's say few people, they being satisfied. So, these sentences have been given here in this manner so that you can note the difference in terms of the conjugation with respect to a particular subject. Therefore, coming back to the sentence, that is Maria, Prakhar und Roger sind zufrieden. Please note, because we have the plural case here, 3 people, Maria, Prakhar und Roger, we use the plural case, that is sind. Maria, Prakhar und Roger sind zufrieden. That means Maria, Prakhar and Roger are satisfied. Let's see the last sentence. Wir dash zufrieden. Again, the verb to be used here is sein, that is to be. So, remember the conjugation for sein with wir, it is sind. Ich bin, du bist, sie es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. So, coming back to the wir case, the correct conjugated form will be sind. So, the sentence becomes wir sind zufrieden, we are satisfied. Wir sind zufrieden, we are satisfied. Wir is the subject here, dear learners, sind is the verb here, and zufrieden means satisfied. So, altogether it becomes wir sind zufrieden, we are satisfied. Isn't it simple? We just need to take into consideration the given subject in any particular sentence and then recall the correct conjugated form and place it accordingly in the sentence. This is how it works. So, dear learners, please note, when you are trying to conjugate the given verbs, in irregular case, you need to learn the pattern of conjugating verbs and accordingly it needs to be used in the given sentence. The more you practice conjugating verbs, be it with the help of exercises or trying to write few sentences, it will make the topic more clear to you. So, this is what we have done in today's session, dear learners, learning to conjugate irregular verbs. And previously, we have also done greeting words in German, that is Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend, Gute Nacht. We did introduction in German, that is giving some basic information about yourself. For example, ich bin Prashali, ich komme aus Bremen, ich wohne in Erfurt, ich bin 10 Jahre alt, ich lerne Deutsch, and so on. Dear learners, we have also done W-Fragen, that is questions starting with W, W. For example, wie heißen Sie, woher kommen Sie, wo wohnen Sie, was machen Sie, was sind Sie von Beruf, wie alt sind Sie, and so on. Then we have also done basic sentence formation in German, and we know that when we are framing sentence, that is a Aussagesatz in German, the verb is always placed at the second position. For example, ich mache meine Hausaufgabe. I am doing my homework. The verb here is machen. Ich mache meine Hausaufgabe. I am doing my homework. Was machen Sie? What are you doing? Again, the verb at the second position. So, please note, while framing sentences in German, Aussagesatz, we always place verb at the second position. Well, we have also done vocabulary related to months, weekdays and seasons in German, and we have also done yes-no question, that is Ja, Nein Fragen. In Ja, Nein Fragen, we place the verb at the first position in order to formulate this question. For example, if I want to ask that are you learning German, I will say lernen Sie Deutsch and with a question mark at the end, that is a Fragezeichen. So, lernen Sie Deutsch, are you learning German? Well, with the Ja-Nein-Frage, the person has two possibilities of answering that. Either one can answer with the yes, that is ja, or one can answer with the no, that is nein. So, you can say ja, ich lerne Deutsch. So, dear learners, these are the few topics that we have covered so far. In the coming sessions, we will be covering more of some grammar related topics and also some basic information about Germany as a country, its states and so on. So, kindly revise all that we have covered so far so that it's better for us to connect to the coming sessions. So, dear learners, this is all for today's session. We will call it a day here and I hope to see you all in the next session. Vielen Dank, auf Wiedersehen.